Welcome back to the Fish and Coach Show. My name is Brandon Fisher. This is Coach Radner. And today we've got a very interesting topic.
You know, I hope it goes over well because it's a little deep. We're talking about the idea that do you own your own body? Yeah,
that's a question that I think a lot of us would probably say, obviously, yes.
It's your body, correct, but is it really your body or is it on loan to you? So we're going to get more into like the body-soul relationship. And let me give you a little idea that can get you thinking. Imagine you're having some friends come over to watch a football game with you. You've had that, right? People come over, watch the Redskins, whatever, and your friend Fat Joey walks in. Huh? The Commanders, the Washington football team, whatever they call themselves, Dan Snyder's team. So your friend Fat Joey walks into your house, and you say, and Fat Joey says, hey, do you have any beer? He's like, go in the refrigerator to get one. So Fat Joey goes in your kitchen, grabs a beer. Fat Joey chugs the beer. Then Fat Joey falls down on the ground with a massive heart attack and is dead right there.
Oh, no.
Poor Fat Joey, right?
Poor Fat Joey.
And you're like, oh, my God, Fat Joey. And he's dead. And your other friend, Stinky, walks in the house. And Stinky goes, hey, how you doing? He goes, you won't believe this, Fat Joey, he's gone. And Stinky goes, what do you mean Fat Joey's gone? He goes, come in the kitchen, come. And Stinky comes in the kitchen, he goes, Fat Joey's not gone, he's right there. And you say, no, Fat Joey, he had a heart attack, he's not breathing, he's been dead for like 5 minutes. He goes, Fat Joey's right there. And like, no, he's not. And Stinky goes, Fat Joey's right there. And he's like, no, he's not. The question is Fat Joey there or not there?
Right. His body is
clearly there.
Is that him?
Is that him or is he not there? That is the body-soul relationship. We are a body made up of, 80% water, and we have about 20, 25, 30 pounds of skin, bone, cartilage, muscle, tissues, skin. Like what? Yeah. That's it. So if you look at us as a person, take out the water, we're just like this 25 pounds of this like skins, bones. That's it. That's all we are.
Right.
So is that all we are? Is it our body? Another idea I want to bring across that I used to run when I was younger. I still run now. I ran a 10-mile race, Army 10-miler in D.C., and I came home to my house in Reston, and I ate 3 peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, and I sat on the kitchen floor because I was so exhausted.
Oh, man.
So exhausted. 10 miles on hardtop in the summertime. How do I feel?
Exhausted.
I'm exhausted. My body's sore. My legs are sore, wiped. But how do I feel emotionally? How do I feel if you call me on the phone? How am I going to be? Oh, I'm so. No, I'm going to be fired up. I'll be fired up. Right. I feel great. My body's sore. My body feels miserable, but I feel great because I'm leading with my soul leads my body. So we have 2 choices in life. You can have your body lead your soul. Your alarm wakes up early in the morning, 5 a.m., to either go run, meditate, pray, whatever you do at 5 a.m., and you're like, your body's like, turn the alarm off, hit snooze, put your head back on the coldest part of the pillow. Right. But your soul wants to get up and run and do these things, right? That's the body's soul. Let me give you another example. Imagine, I love pizza, right? We get a pizza, and I eat 3 slices, and I'm full. But of course, there's still a 4th slice in there, so I'm thinking to myself, well, I'm full, but it's a slice of black olive mushroom pizza, and I want to eat it. My body wants to eat it. My soul doesn't. My body wins. I eat the pizza. My body's happy. But what happens a half hour later?
Your body is no longer happy.
And is my soul happy?
No.
And the next day, is my soul happy? No, because my soul is saying, why'd you eat that 4th slice of pizza? I end up, even though my body was happy for a minute, my soul is so unhappy because my body led my soul. So when your body leads your soul, ultimately you're going to be unhappy. When your soul leads your body, even though you're in pain, even though you're sore, you're going to be a much happier person.
And how much of our life is dictated by this decision?
Every decision we make in life is based on one concept. Will this bring me pleasure or not? Now, there's 2 kinds of pleasure. There's the short-term pleasure, and then there's the long-term pleasure. By avoiding the 4th slice of pizza, I'm taking the view you know what? I'm going to go for the long-term pleasure, which is my soul will be happier by not eating that 4th slice of pizza.
It makes a lot of sense.
Right.
There's an idea I just heard recently, Coach, that I liked a lot. It said the pleasure of eating a pizza or the best cake ever lasts only from the time it touches your tongue to the time it gets to the back of your throat. The pleasure is gone. That's why you keep eating more and more.
Right. There's an idea that I like to teach called the law of diminishing returns. We learned this in freshman year economics, where if you give you I know back in D.C. we have these donuts. What Entenmann's? Not Entenmann's. Is it Entenmann's? No.
Krispy Kreme.
Krispy Kreme donuts. They're so good.
They're really good.
So good. And you get a donut. Ugh. I mean, it just melts in your mouth. It's unbelievable, right? So you eat one donut, it tastes amazing. And then you eat a second donut. It's still pretty good.
Right.
Third donut taste.
You're not enjoying it nearly as much.
And how's the sixth donut?
You're definitely not.
It's called the law of diminishing returns. So when you're eating, if you understand this economic process, right? It's an economic because that you will get less benefit from the more you eat of the same thing. So if you understand this, you'll be eating less in life. You won't be, I don't say fat pig, but you won't be so heavy or out of shape from the eating. So the idea that I want to talk about today is that do we own our own body? So, there's an idea that if people, especially teenagers, when they have emotional pain and they're hurting from something, they cut themselves. You've heard of this? They cut, and we have to send these kids to, places to heal. Usually these centers where kids, especially teenage, I hate to say girls, but more girls than guys, and they have to heal themselves. And they're not trying to kill themselves. They're just trying to hurt themselves because they're in such pain. And of course, then you have lots of teenagers who have committed suicide, and you're not allowed to do that. I don't even think in not just Jewish law, but in regular law, you're not allowed to kill yourself. You're not allowed to cut your arm off. What happens if you cut your arm off? They take you and put you in and they put you in an asylum, right? You're getting put away if you do that. So it's not. You can say to yourself, "Well, it's my body." Well, is it or not? I'm not so sure. That's really kind of on loan to us. If we look at the Bible, it says that God breathed into us the breath of his soul, his breath of his soul, and he made us from the dirt from the ground. So our body, the dirt of the ground, is physical, and the soul of us is the part that we can't see is spiritual. Just because you can't see it, we know it exists because like Fat Joey's situation. Is Fat Joey there or not? He's not there, but he is there.
Right.
So part of him is there and part of him is not there. That part of him is not there is the spiritual side of us, the soul of us.
Right.
The soul, which, by the way, in Jewish law, we learn that our soul lasts forever. It's infinite. This is why the Jews have these mitzvahs we do, these good deeds that we do, because every good deed we do on this earth affects not just our body now, but affects our soul for eternity. It builds up. We build cred. We get cred in heaven. We want to build cred in heaven. I always had this fear. One of the reasons why I'm doing this show and why we do so much in the Jewish world is that we want to help the world out. I don't want to go to heaven and some angel sitting there with a baseball bat hitting me on the head. It's like, why don't you do more in the world when you had a chance? You had so much potential to teach and to motivate people and to help people out. Why didn't you do more? Right. And I don't want that happen. You want to get hit by a baseball bat when you go to heaven?
No, not at all.
No, so you want to do as much as you can in this world,
sure.
right? So I believe that is what our soul is for. Our soul is to live forever.
Right.
And we get reincarnated into new bodies, whatever, and then but our body is only on loan. It's our body now, but it's not our body forever. Because God said that he took it from the dirt, gave us a body, and then when we die, we're supposed to go back to the dirt. Well, we do get eaten by worms. I mean, it's true.
It does say.
Yeah, and there's so many things we don't understand about this world. I mean, there's lots of things in the world that we know exist that we can't see.
Right.
We know there's radiation and there's air and there's oil clouds and lots of things we know exist that we can't see. So, and there's lots of things we don't understand about the universe. And I read an article, and it wasn't even a religious article. It was a scientific article that said the scientist, he didn't really prove it very well, but he tried to make a point that black holes are a resting place for souls.
That's an interesting idea.
That our night, in fact, in the Torah, it says that we say a blessing when we wake up in the morning. Thank you, God, for returning our soul to us. There's an idea that at night our soul leaves us and it's brought back, like we're like half dead, I guess, and our soul comes back to us. Our body's still there, but our soul's gone because we're sleeping, right? And I mean, listen, there's no way to prove it or anything. Lots of things you can't prove.
Can't even understand
lots of things you can prove. There's lots of things you believe that you don't have proof of that exist.
Right.
We put criminals, we murder, we execute, I shouldn't say that. We execute criminals and no one saw the guy do it. But there's enough evidence. There's a weapon, there's a motive, there's no other person around that could do it. And so we put people in jail for life or execute them without someone seeing them happen. Right. So we know things, we believe things that we can't see.
Yeah.
So what I'm trying to show is that it's possible that maybe we don't. Maybe it's our body. It's ours. We put care of it. Just like you rent a house, you supposed to take care of it. You put a deposit down, and the idea of deposit is supposed to prevent you from stealing the kitchen sink and ripping up the walls and tearing up the walls and the floors. And you take care. If you're a good human being, what do? You take care of it. Even better than the owner of the house. You're supposed to be extra careful.
Living there, yeah.
You're the one living there. You're responsible for it, so you take extra care of it. Just like we're supposed to take extra care of ourselves. You're not supposed to be overeating and hurting ourselves and cutting ourselves. We know that when you cut yourself, it's an emotional issue. You're not taking care of yourself.
Yeah, it's unfortunately, yeah. Coach, when you so what is you now? We have this what's his name, Joe?
Oh, Fat Joey?
Fat Joey on the floor. Now, how much of our body is us? It feels like, well, our soul must be in our body somewhere. So is it in our head? And there's an interesting idea that I heard about a boat. There was a boat that was, every year it would go in for repairs. So it starts off as a beautiful, nice boat, and then the next year they have to replace all the screws. The next year they have to replace all the wood and the framing, and then et cetera, over time. Until there's no original parts from the boat when it first had its maiden voyage. Is it still the same boat, or is it a new boat?
Oh, that's pretty funny. It's kind of like the $6 Million Man. Is that him if he's all bionic?
Oh, yeah, that's exactly right.
I'm dating myself again with
So
Steve
then
Austin.
what is you? What is the boat? Is it the boat? The boat still has the same name, maybe.
Well, this comes up today with older bands, especially like the Beach Boys and and Journey and different,
Exactly.
where you have band members who are now in their 60s and 70s and want to go touring,
Right.
but maybe half the band's not alive anymore, or not playing anymore, and they want to call themselves Journey, and they get sued. Well, you're not really Journey. Who's Journey? Who's Beach Boys? So I think right now that Brian Wilson and Mike Love, the original Beach Boy guys, that they're both touring as the Beach Boys, or the Dead.
But they're not together.
Not together. So who's really the Beach Boys, right? And what about the Dead?
Dead and Company has John Mayer as the lead singer. That they're not calling themselves the Grateful Dead anymore, but
now are they allowed to call themselves the Grateful Dead?
they still have a lot of the same singers or same band.
But why can't they call
So
themselves
that's the
Grateful?
question. I don't know.
Is there a reason why
who
they
defines
can't?
these rules? I don't
Right?
know.
I might have to do with the record companies.
It could be.
Yeah,
Most likely.
because most of these artists. By the way, we're hoping to interview my son, who's a recording artist.
Right.
And I've started to understand the music industry. What they do is when they get signed by a record company, you are signing your life away. You're signing your music away. They own the record companies.
They own you.
They own you because what they're putting, I understand why. They're putting money into building you up as an artist.
Yeah.
They're taking a risk and they want the rights to the music. Then, of course, later on, they say, well, the music companies, are controlling us. Well, you're the one that wanted the money to help get started. So, yeah, I understand both sides of the point. If you're
It's a whole industry.
Hopefully we can talk to Leon about it sometime in the future.
That would be very interesting.
Yeah.
The thing is, is it still the band? Which one is the great?
Is it the Grateful? Is it the Grateful Dead? Is it the Beach Boys or not?
Journey.
Right. Are they just borrowing the name? And just like us, are we just borrowing our bodies?
It's puts it into a thought.
Right.
If you lose your arm, is that still you? Yeah. Okay. Is it? What about?
But are you if you own your own bodies, can you cut your arm off and do what you want with your bodies?
Can you?
I don't know. Do you think so?
It's not clear enough to me. It's clear.
Well, if you cut your arm off, you're getting put away.
Right. Well, that's a different story. That's the law.
Right.
They're blaming the psyche. That's why they put you in a psychological ward.
Right.
Obviously, there's something wrong with you for cutting off your arm.
Right. But you can say it's my arm. I can do what with my body.
It's my body.
Right.
But we would call that today a mental disorder.
It would be a mental disorder, wouldn't it?
For sure.
Yeah.
So I guess we are both. The question is, how are you going to identify? Are you going to choose to identify as that body? Are you going to choose to make the decisions and eat more pizza? Or are you going to choose to identify as the soul? Both decisions are correct.
I got to tell you, since I've been really working this idea out in my head,
right,
the body-soul issue, and the thing that really got to me, not just the Fat Joey issue, but the pizza issue, my body wants it, it gets it, it's happy for a short while, but my soul's miserable because I was leading with my body. But when I lead with my soul, when I ran the 10-mile race, my body's miserable, but I'm happier being sore. I'm happier. Like you go to the gym and you come back, or you do a spinning class for an hour and you come back and you're really sore. You're sore, but you're happy.
It's such a higher level.
It's a higher level. It's like when you leave your soul, you make decisions. Instead of eating the pizza, eat a salad. When you leave your soul, you're going to be a much happier and much healthier person.
Yeah, and And you're, instead of being, I'm just a human.
Right.
I'm a human. I get to have a soul. I get to make these decisions.
I get to make, and when you look at your body like you're renting a house, I need to take care of the house more than just the owner, because it's not my house and I'm responsible for it. And I want to make sure that I keep it clean and don't ruin it. I want to make sure I keep my body clean. I want to keep my head clean. No, not putting schmutz, junk into my head, and making sure I don't put junk into my body, and make sure I take care of my body. When you leave your soul in your body, you'll be much happier person.
And that goes at whether you own it or rent it. But if you rent it, it matters. Do you take better care
I think
of it?
if you're more responsible for it. When you own your own house, you can do what you want with your house. It's your house. But when you rent it, you're more likely going to take care of it.
That's it. And the point is to take care of yourself.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for listening to the Fish and Coach Show.
I'll see you next time.
Thanks for watching the Fish and Coach Show.
If you like what you just watched, make sure you like, subscribe, and comment with any ideas you'd like to see on any future episodes.
We'll see you next time.